Hello students, welcome to Instinctive Behavior. In this lesson, we are going to study instinctive behavior. Instinctive behavior is the most complex and pre-programmed patterns of behavior. Instinctive behaviors often involve a complex sequence of actions, what we call fixed action pattern, which is triggered by key stimulus. Fixed action pattern is a sequence of coordinated movements that are performed together as a unit without interruption. Each fixed action pattern is triggered by a unique stimulus, which is variously known as a sign stimulus or a key stimulus or releaser. Instinctive behaviors have the following main characteristics. These main characteristics are common to all members of a species, which means all individuals in a species can do any instinctive behavior in the same way. For example, all individuals of a spider can do spinning of webs to trap insect for food. The second characteristic is this instinctive behavior is fully functional the first time they are performed. That means it does not require learning or experience because it is innate or pre-programmed behavior. Since instinctive behavior is innate or pre-programmed, all members of a species from younger to older members can do the behavior in almost similar ways. The third characteristic is instinctive behavior have key stimulus that triggers the fixed action pattern to be performed. The fourth characteristic is instinctive behavior have innate releasing mechanism that links the stimulus to the response. This innate releasing mechanism is the linking or coordinating system that receives the stimulus and process the information that comes from the receptor in order to give response back to the stimulus in the form of fixed action pattern. This may be nervous system or hormonal system. Instinctive behavior have a fixed action pattern in response to the key stimulus that is always the same in all members of the species. Lastly, instinctive behavior is adaptive. Being adaptive means instinctive behavior confer or give a survival advantage for members of a species within their habitat. The best example to instinctive behavior are feeding behavior of young hearing girls, spiders spinning of web, birds nest building, and salmon fish swimming upstream. In the feeding behavior of hearing girls, picking of the orange spot on the mother girl's beak is fixed action pattern and the orange spot on beaks of mother's girl is key stimulus. In spiders spinning of web, a spinning web is fixed action pattern and the need to catch food is key stimulus. In bird's nest building is fixed action pattern and the need for reproduction is key stimulus. And in salmon fishes swimming upstream is fixed action pattern, and the need for reproduction is the key stimulus. Some famous experiment was done by an etiologist Nicotinbergen on aggression behavior of stickleback fish that involves more complex responses. It is known that male stickleback fish are very territorial and they attack any other male that invades their territory. In this famous experiment, the great etiologist Nicotinbergen was able to show that the key stimulus was the red belly of the entering male. The defending male attacked any non-fish model that had red on its ventral or lower surface. In this experiment, the processes of attacking by male sticklebacks are fixed action pattern and the red belly was key stimulus. However, in female stickleback fishes, red belly is the key stimulus that provokes a very different fixed action pattern. That means it stimulates mating behavior as a fixed action pattern. There is some evidence that some fixed action patterns can be modified slightly by experience or interbreeding. For example, let us see an investigation into nesting behavior of lovebirds. There are two different species of lovebirds or parrots, the feathers lovebird and peach-faced lovebird. When we see nesting behavior of each lovebirds, female feathers lovebirds cut long strips of nesting material and transport or carry the strips individually to the nesting site, whereas the female peach-faced lovebirds cut short strips and carry several at a time by tacking or putting the strip materials into their back feathers. These two different species of lovebirds with different nesting behaviors were interbred and produced hybrid females. These hybrid females from the crosses exhibited the following behaviors. In the first mating season, the hybrid females cut intermediate length strips. That means neither long as feathers lovebird nor short as peach-faced lovebirds. They tried but failed to transport strip materials by tacking into the back feathers like peach-faced lovebirds, but lastly learned to carry the strips in their beaks as feathers lovebirds. In subsequent seasons, they always carried the strips in their beaks like feathers lovebird but never give up all packing behaviors they received from peach-faced lovebirds. Imprinting. Imprinting is an instinctive behavior in which the fixed action pattern is for newly born or hatched organisms to imprint on or attach to the first thing they see. Imprinting occurs when an animal forms a social attachment to another organism within a specific time period after birth or hatching. In a famous experiment which is done by Konrad Lorenz on goose eggs. In this experiment, Lorenz split a batch of goose eggs into two batches. The first or one batch was hatched normally by the goose itself and followed goose. The other batch was hatched by Lorenzi in an incubator and followed Lorenzi. Here, there is a time window for imprinting to take place. That means if the newly born or hatched organisms follow any moving object after a certain period later of hatching or born, they could be killed by predators. So, if it does not take place in the first 2 days after hatching, then the gosling will not imprint. This has survival value. If mother goose has not appeared in the first 2 days, imprinting on and following the first moving object after that time window could be more dangerous than not imprinting at all. Many evolutionary psychologists believe that a similar pattern of behavior is found in human infants, what is called attachment formation, and involves the formation of a strong emotional bond between an infant and its primary caregiver, often the mother. This occurs in three main stages. The first stage, from 0 to 2 months, what we call pre-attachment stage. In this stage, the infant prefers people to objects but does not really discriminate between different people. The second stage is from 2 to 7 months, that is discriminate attachment. In this stage, the infant begins to show a preference for familiar people. The third stage, 7 months onward. In this stage, the infants produce true emotional attachment to one person initially, even though multiple attachment often form soon afterwards.